Hello and welcome back to another episode of Podcast 572. As always, I am your host, Kyle, joined by just Matt this week. Dan is out on assignment. He will join us in the next episode. My list of things that I've played in the last, and we've been off since end of October, I want to say.
Yeah.
So, because we did not record on Halloween because we're all busy. So
yeah,
we had that mini episode. In between top 5 Xbox 360 games, but in this time I've played a lot of simulator games. I've fallen down a simulator hole, like harder than normal.
Too many.
Some may say I have a problem. I'll start off. The first one is the most obvious one. It launched in between here, and that is Powerwash Simulator 2. It's now out on everything. It's great, but it's just more Powerwash, a little more refined. Like if you played the first Powerwash, that game, as great as it is, definitely felt like a little rough around the edges at times. This one feels a lot smoother. I haven't seen like the original game. There was one level specifically, I think it was the big subway tunnel.
Okay. That
was where I had a lot of like the auto saving issues where I had to like switch over to the PC version to finish it and then go back to the Xbox version. This one I'm playing on PS5. I've had no issues with autosave at all. I had there's one trophy glitch in the game where there's a level where you have to finish the hatch of this gazebo last, which I did, but it didn't give me the trophy, and I looked it up. Apparently there's an issue with it that they're going to patch.
Okay.
So we'll see if if I get done with everything else and that patch isn't out, maybe I'll just redo that level, because this is a game I could easily platinum.
Yeah.
And it's very good. The environments are really good. It still has some of that weird quirkiness from the first game. It does a lot of things where when you get to jobs, after you get to certain percentages, there's like text conversations with the person that hired you. So there's kind of like a little bit of a story going on here, but it's not like really in depth or anything like that.
Okay.
But all the levels and the environments are really, really strong, really good. A lot more in depth. It's a lot more like the levels are not necessarily bigger, but they're a lot more detailed. There's a lot more to like get in and wash.
Okay.
The other thing that's new to this from the first one is it has one of those surface washers with like the disc. So you can like wash on the floor, and that thing's great when you unlock it. So that really helps for like floors and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm about, from what I'm looking at, there's 38, I think, levels in the game, and I'm about the halfway mark. So, it's very good. It's one of the better games I've played this year. So, and if you if you didn't like the first Powerwash, this game's not going to change your mind. Like it's more of that. But if you love the first game, you'll love this one too. I'm very curious to see what they do for DLC, because the first game they did a lot of fun, quirky DLCs. Some of them are like movie licenses and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see what they do for this one. But so far, it's been fantastic. So I
feel like if they stick to what they've done in the first one and just carry that on to the second one, they'll still have the same kind of success they had from the first one.
It's also the kind of thing too where like when they announced it, I was like, man, it seems kind of early to announce a sequel when you could just keep putting out these DLCs. But now that I'm on the other side and I played it, I will say it plays much smoother than the first game, because I do think the first game had definitely kind of that like jankiness to it at times.
Yeah.
That does not feel like that's here at all. This feels a lot more polished. And I think the first game too is also on the older platforms as well. This game's not hindered by that, so I'm sure that helps as well.
So that makes sense.
So, but yeah, it's been fantastic so far that I played it. So I will continue to play that. I should have that done by the next time we record, but that's been the thing that I've played the most of. Like I kind of stopped hard. I did a hard stop at the halfway point of Clair Obscur to play this game.
Okay.
And when I finish this, I will go back and finish the other half of Clair Obscur. We got other simulator games. So the big one that came out since last time we recorded that I've had on my Steam wish list probably for a year, and I totally forgot about it. And then I got the email the other day of like, it's, released. Mall Simulator. Mall Simulator is out. It's not expensive either. It's like $10, I think, $10-11.
Okay.
It's awesome. It's very good. It's a very it kind of takes the elements of all these other games and throws them in a mall situation. And so like when you start, you open the first store and then the second store and then the third one. So like the first store in this case is a clothing store. Then you open a sporting goods store. Then you open. So let's see what I have so far. I have the clothing store, sporting goods store, a toy store, a tech store, which is just like a phone store.
Okay.
They call it a supermarket, but it's not really a supermarket. It's just like a small dinky grocery store. Let's see all those. There's a GameStop type store. We'll call it the Game Store. And then I have not unlocked it yet. There is a cinema that I'm excited about, but it's really expensive and I'm not quite there to unlock that yet. I have unlocked an arcade. So there's an arcade that people can go and play arcade games in. And then right before we were recording, I went to check because they put out a new patch and we'll talk about that in a second because the game does have performance issues. It is important to know the game is in early access. So
I was about to say, yeah.
It is not a full release game yet, but then I just opened what they call a cafeteria. It's his bakery. It's not a cafeteria. I don't know why they call it a cafeteria. It's a bakery, but I just opened that. It has the great like same daily grind, except you're in a mall. You can hire workers. So like when you first start, obviously you're the cashier for a little bit, and then you hire a cashier. You can hire a stocker, and then you kind of go. You can expand each store multiple times so that they're bigger. You can buy licenses to have more items. What I like about the game store is they have a bunch of fake video games where they've gone as far as to have like the cover of the game, but then it'll be completely different names. So like instead of The Last of Us Part 2, it's The First of Us Part 2. They also, I'm trying to remember they had Red Dead Redemption, but I can't remember what the name of it was. Right now, I only have the license to sell a PS5, but it's called the Game Station 5. And then you can sell the controller and then the like whatever the PS Portal equivalent is. It's awesome. Like I really, really like the game. The problem is that like a lot of these simulator games, Water Park Simulator also has this same issue right now. It is very CPU heavy. Yeah. So the more people that you have starting to come into this location, it starts having a hitching problem where when you're walking around, you're skipping around on the screen. You can see the people are skipping around.
Okay.
They did put out a patch today. From my understanding, because I don't usually do this, but for these simulator games, I do. I joined the Discord because a lot of these games are just made by like one person.
Yeah.
And so this person's been pretty like talkative in that Discord about like, I'm going to put out a patch and, and people are complaining about the performance. Because when it first happened to me, I was like, oh man, are we getting to that point where I'm looking at building a new computer in, March, but I'm like, are we at that point? Like, am I hitting my limit? I don't feel like I am. But it's an issue with the game. So they did put out a patch today. I'll say it's slightly smoother, but it still has a hitching issue. Okay. And I saw in the Discord just now that the guy is working on another patch. So the guy that makes this game is actively working on it. It's been very successful. The other thing I like about this one too is that it has a leaderboard for like whose mall makes the most money. So I think that's pretty cool. That is pretty dope. Pretty far low on there. So but the mall has 2 floors to it. There's an escalator. You can also put an ATM in there that you have to fill up. There's like soda machines, candy machines. There's a bathroom you have to maintain with like toilet paper and soap. And then there is a TCG trading card dispenser that has like a bunch of fake like Pokemon, One Piece, Magic the Gathering cards and whatnot. That is also something I have in there. So awesome game. I hope that if they can iron out the performance issues and stuff, it's very high on my list of simulator games.
Okay.
Before Mall Simulator came out, the other one that I jumped into, and we talked about, I think a little bit the last time we recorded, was Bookshop Simulator, which is the one that has kind of like that Disney Dream or whatever that game is called. It has a nice different aesthetic. And I should also say Mall Simulator is also a simulator game made in Unity. So Bookshop Simulator is like the one anomaly where it's not made in Unity. And I think that helps that game because it doesn't have any of those issues. I've pretty much exhausted the content in Bookshop Simulator, and that is also a game that's in early access. So it's not content complete. And I'm okay with that. Like for the price that it is, I'm good now to shelf that and look at it down the road. So And then the other day when I was really at my lowest, Jesus. And I was like, man, I really want to play a simulator game, but I can't do Mall Simulator because it got to the point where that hitching, it was unplayable, where I'm like, I can't even walk around the screen. Like during the actual day in the game when people are coming in and out of the mall, it's unplayable. It's better now. It was unplayable though. But I dug through my actual Steam library, which I have like 700 games. And I found that at some point I bought Storage Hunter Simulator. And I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, fuck it. Let's see what Storage Simulator is all about. Also wildly different than any of the other simulator games. It reminds me of how it plays. And this is going to be really, really weird. If you've ever played the game State of Decay.
Oh, yeah.
It plays like that. You're not fighting zombies or anything, but like you are a character you create that is in a world map, and you wake up. You have like a tablet. You have to go and click on like, okay, I want to go to this specific place that they're going to have an auction or this auction or whatever, and then you get in your car and you drive to it.
Okay.
You go, you have the auction. If you win it, you can go through the items. You can take them to the pawn shop. You can take them to a dealer who's going to see if it's worth any money. You have to put gas in your car. Like that's kind of a wild part of it. The map is actually quite large.
Okay.
And like I said, the map and the way the world works reminds me of State of Decay.
No, I can see what you're saying.
It's really good. I think it's a little bit higher in price than some of the other simulator games.
This one right now is sitting on $24.99.
But it is. I bought it whenever it was on a sale. But also, it is. It's not an early access game. Like it's a complete game. I think there's DLCs for it. So, I played like the first week because you go day to day. I played the first week of it, and I found myself enjoying that as well. So, not a bad game to look at.
There's
but
a haunted house renovator, just in case you ever want to get.
I think I read that one's not good though.
It's got mixed reviews right now.
Okay. I think I read because I have looked at that one, and then the other one that I looked at, and I have not pulled the trigger on it because if you pull it up, it almost looks like the reviews for it are generated by AI.
Oh, jeez.
And it is a motel simulator. But it is set in I think either the 1950s or the 1960s Chicago. I'm trying to find what it was called. It has a specific name, but it's from the same people that make like the Laundry Store Simulator and stuff. It literally just came out, and I added it to my Steam list, whatever day it was, earlier this week. And I was like, And I went in there, I read the reviews, and I was like, this. I don't know, man. If you read the reviews, it just seems like somebody threw a couple reviews in Chat GPT or something. And we're like, yeah, this looks good. Okay, it's called My Hotel Simulator.
Okay.
So I'm pulling it up here because I'm going to see if I can find. It's under $5, like super cheap.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's
but if
on
you go to the
10% sale.
But if you go to the reviews and you scroll down to like the first reviews, I think there's only one. I don't think there's a negative.
Gosh, how I want to own my own hotel.
Okay, this is the first review I read for this game. I'm just going to read this verbatim, and you'll enjoy, okay? The love is going to break me. God, how it hurts me this time, but I'm trying to fight it. The game helps me let go of thoughts about it. What? That's the whole review. This is the first review that was posted of this game.
Oh, I see that.
And I'm just like, huh?
Oh, gosh. Well, they did play 32.2 hours of it. So, I mean,
I don't know.
The love is going to break them.
The love is going to break them. It came out November 7th, so it's pretty new. I'll be honest. It's $4.49. I will probably buy it.
You probably will.
And I will probably talk about it next time.
You probably will.
The only other thing I did try, because it came up on my list, I didn't even put it on here. And the other night I bought it. It was like $6. It's on sale. It's called, I think I'm gonna butcher the name of it, but I think it's called Libtopia. It's a librarian simulator.
Oh goodness.
It's not very good. It is too in depth to the point that like you can like number the books with like that numbering system that they have for libraries and stuff like that. The problem is it's incredibly janky. So it's very janky. I can tell you that the sound effects seem like the voices are generated by AI. They're way too loud, which scared me when I had it on, because like I turned it on and there's a thing you can put down that has like a bell. So what'll happen is somebody will come in, they'll look at the shelf of books, and then they'll go and ring the bell because they can't find the book that they want.
Okay.
And when you go over to help them and you hand them the book, it is like the loudest fucking noise where they're just like, thank you. Like it scared the fuck out of me because I didn't know. Because like the music is soft and, you know, relaxing and everything. This guy's just like, thank you, like real loud.
Thank you.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah. So that game, I didn't care for it. So I was like, I sat on like, do I refund this? Maybe I'll just refund it and I'll get that other hotel game and move on. I don't know. I didn't care for it. The last thing that I have on my list, and then I'll be done with what I played, is I rebought Vampire Survivors on PS5, and I'm just going to redo it there. And I've already started. There's been times that my fiance has come down, and because I give her shit all the time for playing the same games. Like right now she's on. I joked with her a couple weeks ago where she has beaten High on Life on the Xbox, I think 10 times now.
Oh, good.
And I told her, I'm like, well, you're not a true gamer unless you platinum it on the PlayStation.
Why are you doing that?
And she's like, what? And I told her, I'm like, yeah, I have it on PlayStation. It was a Plus game at some point. So she's playing it on the PlayStation now. I've seen a lot of High on Life. I've only played through High on Life one time. I liked it. It was a good game. I've seen too much of it. And it's not even just the fact that like she plays the game and plays it a lot. She is constantly listening to the soundtrack of that game, which is like ambient space music, I guess. The easiest way to describe it. It's not bad. Like it's not bad, but now those songs are getting stuck in my head during the day where it's like, I feel like I'm hearing that music constantly.
Probably because you are.
And she'll put it on a rotation with like the Stardew Valley soundtrack. And then what was the other one she played way too? I finally told her, I'm like, oh, the Bug Snacks soundtrack. I was like, we have to be done with Bugs. I've heard that main theme too many times. Now it's High on Life. So, but Vampire Survivors, great game. I just wanted to start it over again. And so I've been playing it there on the PlayStation.
Okay.
I bought all the DLCs at the time. And then what was funny is I probably played a couple hours of it now on the PlayStation. And then all of a sudden, after one of my runs popped up, was like new DLCs available. I'm like, what are you talking about? Apparently, when I bought everything, I forgot to buy one of the DLCs. And it finally was just like, hey, you don't own this one DLC. And I was like, all right, fuck it. And I bought it. So I have everything.
I do now.
Well, that can, even if you buy all the DLC, it's under $20 to buy everything for that game. It's not expensive. And
especially on sales, it's even cheaper. So, I mean, I
was waiting for them to do a sale. And then I got to a point where I'm like, I kind of just want to play it again.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do it. And I bought it all and was like, I'll just play it here. So, but it's great. It's Vampire Survivors. So I'm very curious. I don't know if you saw this. I didn't put it in the news, but they licensed out their engine for that game to Warhammer. And they're making a Warhammer Survivor game. I don't know if you ever saw the trailer for it. It's literally Vampire Survivors in the Warhammer universe.
That's actually,
I think it's
pretty interesting.
I think it's called Warhammer Survivor. I'll have to remember because all of a sudden one day one of my friends sent me the trailer and I was like, what is this? He's like, it's just Vampire Survivors with Warhammer. And I'm like, oh,
Warhammer Survivors.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It's out sometime next year.
I mean,
and then the other game that is out, it is out now on PlayStation. If you have Game Pass, it's on Game Pass. Highly recommend Halls of Torment. If you have not ever played that game, it's out, and you have Game Pass, it's out on Game Pass. It is, think of it like Vampire Survivors, but Diablo.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like Diablo 2, but it's Vampire Survivors. So, very, very good game. So proves that formula is not a one note thing. Like you can make other games with that formula, and people are going to play it. So. Halls of Torment is really good. I bought it on a whim on Steam a long time ago. It's actually a really good Steam Deck game. So,
oh yeah, I see that. Okay, well, we're gonna install this. Maybe we'll play this.
That game is really good. So, and it's on Game Pass. So if you have that, you might as well try it there.
I just did.
I think Powerwash is on Game Pass as well. Powerwash 2. I bought it on the PS5, so
makes sense.
You know, I looked at it this way. When I played Powerwash originally, I played it on Game Pass on the Xbox. I put like 100. I looked it up the other day. So how much time did I put in that game? It was 130 hours when it was all done. And that was with all the DLC and everything. So I was like, I don't feel bad paying $25 for their new game when I spent 130 hours with the other one. So I looked at that and was like, I got my money's worth out of that game on Game Pass. So of all things. So, but that's me. I will kick it over to you for what you've been playing.
So I got excuse me, and finished Little Nightmares 3. It's not bad, but it's not the same.
It's probably the weakest of the three, you'd say.
It is the weakest of the three. Okay. However, because this one was made by different people from the first two, it really feels like an overall just different game.
Okay.
And not the same game from the previous two. So while it's not the same, I'm not also going to say it's bad. It's just not the same. So if you're going in playing this game thinking it's going to tie into the other two or it's going to play like the other two, it does not. It does not at all. So like, did I enjoy it? Yes, I did enjoy it, but it just after playing the first two, this one was just very different and not what I was hoping and expecting when I saw this one. Okay. So it was kind of disappointing. I finished it. I think what was like 4 or 5 hours. I want to say it's not too big.
Not a long game, man.
Not a long game.
Well, you're glad you didn't buy the collector's edition now.
I am kind of glad I did not buy the collector's edition. I'm glad I talked myself out of it. I did buy the one with all the DLC content, so I do have that. When they release DLC, I'll play through them and see how it is. But in playing that, I actually played the demo called Reanimal. The people who made Little Nightmares 1 and 2 actually made this game.
Instead of making Little Nightmares 3.
This game feels like Little Nightmares 3.
Little Nightmares 3 should be. Okay.
It is actually a really solid demo, and I actually looked it up, and the game comes out next year, so I think I actually might go ahead and just buy it.
Okay.
And get it, because it's really good. Like, even like all the character models they have, really good, really
looking at it,
creepy vibe.
Definitely has a creepy vibe and stuff to it. I kind of remember it.
Oh man, it is solid, and the demo's out. So like, if you want to test it out, grab the demo and try it out. Like I said, it feels to me what Little Nightmares 3 should have been, but not. Also with that, I played Battlefield 6 dropped a battle royale game called Redsec.
Redsec, yeah.
It plays a lot like Warzone. The only difference, and I actually kind of enjoy this versus what Warzone does. So like when you die in Warzone, you get put into this like one-on-one situation, and you have to win in order to come back into the game. This one, it's once you die, you get the option, or you get a redeploy automatically. Okay. You don't have to fight anybody for it. Your team automatically gets redeployed. I like that. I kind of like that idea because sometimes the intenseness of the one-on-one, I can play 10 of those gulag matches and probably win 1 out of the 10.
Okay.
Just because it's a lot of pressure, man. And like, I'm not really good under that kind of pressure sometimes. So I played a little more of it. Me and the boys from work are actually supposed to try and jump on it this weekend at some point, and I'll play, because the only thing I'm not a big fan of, and I'm hoping maybe they change it, is you can't play solos. The only options you have are duos or quads. And I'm kind of like, I like playing these games solo because finding teammates sometimes is just horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
And which is really crazy. Like Battlefield Redsec just came out not long ago, but like, since it's still Battlefield 6, your level from Battlefield 6 is carrying over. And I'm playing with people who are like 39, level 39, level 40.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, please just don't leave. Like, I'm like, please don't just bounce out because you see I'm a level 2. Like, give me a second and we can play this together and see how it goes. But we'll see what happens. Another game I actually went ahead and bought was Into the Dead Our Darkest Days. I had been looking at this for a while because I just keep seeing people play it. And it's essentially a survival game. You start off with 2 people in your team, and you have to go out and like find resources, and then you have to come back and build up your supply, like your shelter, and you build like new little parts to your shelter, like a new medical area, a new food area, and all that jazz. And like as you play through the actual game, you can get new like survivors to come join you and stuff like that. I haven't made it too far. I think the longest I've gotten to is like day 18, which you think would be a lot, but it doesn't feel like a lot when you're playing the game.
Sure.
I've been murdered a lot. Like it's insane how badly, because the thing about this game, so like if you don't get enough food to supply your people, they die.
Okay.
If your people get sick, they die. You just got to find medicine to heal everybody and keep everybody up to date. If you use the wrong medicine, people may die. Not only that, but like, so let's say like you have your 2 people and then you like find a new person and you bring that new person, a new survivor into your group. Yeah. Let's say that new survivor gets sick and passes on. Well, then your people get sad and they start grieving for that person. Okay. And grief can take over them to where they kill themselves. Okay. It's like there's so many like little things about this game that kind of like you have to like really pay attention to each person. Yeah. And it's like if you don't, and I've noticed that the more and more I played it, it's like because even when you get,
it's a 2D game, right?
Yeah, it's like a side-scrolling game, which is actually really cool. But graphic-wise, it looks really clean.
Because I was gonna say, like everything you're describing reminds me of State of Decay, but like more in depth.
Yeah. Okay. And it's really good. Like it really is good to the point where, so like zombies will be in like the background. Sure. But like if you make too much noise, they come to the front. Okay. And they all start cunning for you. And like these guys are like wild. Like at one point I was like closing the doors real quietly and I'm crawling around so I don't make a lot of noise. And like I got into a fight with one dude and then all of a sudden the door just blasted open and 3 of them are chasing me. So then I'm running I'm running through the building, but like as I'm running, I'm like shoulder blasting doors to get through them. It got really intense. It gets really intense sometimes. But yeah, I'm really glad I got it because it's actually been a really good one to play. So that's kind of taken over me for right now. So I'm really hoping to jump more into it this weekend so I can see what it's about. Yeah, and hopefully
sounds good
farther than 18 days because
that's your record right now.
Yeah, 18 days is my record, and I feel like once you get past that is where it picks up more. So like I'm really hoping to get past that. So
no, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's been a really good game. I definitely say give it a shot if you when it's on, because I mean it's gone on sale like twice I think since it's come out because Steam. So give it a shot. I say it's fantastic. But that's all I've been playing these couple of weeks.
No, we can jump into news. There's a lot because we've been, it's been like a month since we've actually sat down and recorded anything. And so I definitely tried to pick and choose things because there's a lot that's happened in a month. Yeah. But I think, and I'm going to lead with, I think what's probably the biggest thing I feel like that's happened is the Steam machines. Yeah. So, what's interesting about this is like I saw something like a week before that this stuff was being announced, like, oh, Valve's going to make a hardware announcement. And I kind of just blew it off because I was like, oh, it's probably like a new version of the Steam Deck or whatever. Certainly they would not try to do Steam machines again, right? Right. Because the important thing to note is like they've done this before. So when I worked at GameStop, We had when they put out Steam machines, and I will say it was completely different than what we have today, what this is.
Yeah.
So back then in like I want to say it was 2014, 2015, the Steam machines were built by different people. We had one. We only ever got one at the store. No one ever bought it. It sat in the back room for like 2 years. And then at one point we just ended up shipping it back to the warehouse. We never sold it.
Okay.
And it was kind of a joke. Like of that era, remember they tried to do Steam machines. They had a controller that everybody hated. Was the one that looks like a boombox. Do you remember the controller? It was really shitty. And the only thing that they came out with that I thought was a cool idea at the time, but it was too early, it was ahead of its time, was the Steam Link, which was that little box you could hook up to your TV with HDMI and the Ethernet cable, and you could use big picture mode and stream from your computer.
Yeah, I see that now.
That thing worked. It was really good. And if you had a decent internet connection at the time, it was a very worthwhile thing. I had a friend that had one, and they used it a lot. We used it a lot for a couple different games, and you just use big picture mode. But then, Valve has kind of avoided hardware for a long time, and then they came out. Obviously, Steam Deck is very successful. It's a great machine. I have one. I like it. I should use it more. I will say in this last year, and this is a fun statistic, I have used my Steam Deck more than the Switch 2.
I mean, you were going to.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't. The Switch 2, I have not gotten another new Switch 2 game since Mario Kart. And I don't think I'm going to get Metroid either, but that's a different topic, but I haven't really used it that much. So this thing, it looks like a GameCube.
Yep.
It's affectionately being nicknamed the Gabe Cube, which I approve. I think it's good. It's important to note, like, it's not a super high-end machine. Its specs are between a Series S and a base PS5. There will be two models. One model is going to have a 512 M2, and the other one will be 2 terabytes. I would tell anybody, if you're interested in this thing, to go with 2 terabytes. 500 gigabytes is not enough storage space.
Not at all, man.
When I built the computer that I'm currently recording this on, that computer, I do have a bigger SSD in it, and I do have another bigger drive. My main boot drive, the M2, is only 500 gigabytes. And I don't install more than like 1 or 2 games to, because I don't have enough space to do that. But prices were really high on that type of drive in 2020. Yeah. So those have come down significantly in price. I'm really I'll say this. This is not a thing that I would rush out and buy day one. I'm very curious to see how it does, but I'm also very excited about it. In the same breath where you look at Microsoft and everything they've done so stupidly in the last year and a half, this is the perfect time for Valve to enter and kind of kick them while they're down, in a sense. Because
I fully agree with you.
Even the other thing that people have to remember with this is this thing, well, I don't know if it's going to make a huge dent in the console space, because again, it is a PC centric thing.
Yeah.
And it is important to note Steam has the biggest and arguably the best digital storefront in all of gaming.
Yeah.
Way bigger, way better, way more versatile. I was reading something the other day, like demos perform way better on Steam than anywhere else because they can give developers immediate feedback.
Yep.
And I think there's a lot of cool potential for this if it is priced correctly. And that's
I was just thinking, honestly, I was just thinking the same thing. If it's priced correctly,
and I will tell you what I think is the correct price for both models. I think the 512, I think 400, I think is the perfect price. And I think this 2 terabyte one, you can go between 5 and 550.
I can agree.
I don't that like if you go higher with the base model, you're starting to get into that territory of the PS5.
Yep.
And if you go even higher than that, then we're getting into the weird territory that we're in right now where people don't want to spend that much.
No.
I'm very curious to see how this thing does. This is early 2026 is when this is going to launch. They're also launching a new controller that looks a lot better than the controller they launched a decade ago.
Still. That's the one thing I have
you ever used a Steam Deck or no?
No.
Okay. I will say, while it looks goofy, those little touchpads work really well, actually.
Oh, yeah, I can believe it. I just don't like the way it looks.
Okay. I mean, compared to the previous controller.
Compared to the previous controller, it looks a lot better.
But yeah, it is a little goofy looking in comparison. They did also announce, and I'm not really going to talk about it because I don't care about VR, but they have a new VR headset that's called the Steam Frame. I think the name's great, but I'm not a VR person, so
no, I'm not worth it.
I'm going to gloss over that part of the announcement, but I also like how you can customize and switch out the faceplates of this thing. I saw a really cool wood grain one that I think looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks dope.
It looks cool. I am excited about it. I don't know if I'll get one. I don't know if I need it because I looked at this and I'm like, it's really cool. If I want to ever play one of these games on my TV, I have a deck or a dock for my Steam Deck, so I can do that. And I'd rather just build my own another new PC in 2026 than buy this thing, because a new PC I build is going to be wildly superior to this thing. But I'm happy this thing exists.
And
I think that Steam, I think that Valve is doing the right thing right now to enter it when basically Microsoft is circling the train. So I'm very excited to watch this thing and see how it does, how it performs. I think it'll sell out right away when they first.
Oh, I agree. I feel like because Steam has such a vast library right now, and like you said, it really does operate the best. I feel like it's going to do fantastic. I feel like it's going to sell well. I feel like people are going to utilize it. I just don't. The only downfall I think is people. I don't know. I don't even know if there really is. Like, I've just been reading about it, and I feel like it did come out at the perfect time. I feel like people.
They got lucky with that, though. Let's be fair. I don't think when they started developing this thing that they had even a notion of an idea that Microsoft was going to be where they are now. So they were very lucky in that sense that they had the right place in the right time to announce this thing. Also, if I was going to buy one personally, I would just use an Xbox controller on it. So you don't have to use the Steam controller. You can use an Xbox, or you can use a PlayStation controller. If you want
I just don't feel like I feel like the controller itself might be the only thing that kind of kills it, and not necessarily kills it, but just kind of makes people go, oh, I don't really care for that.
I think
part
people that have used the Steam Deck will be more apt to using that controller. But I think a lot of people that look at that are like, I can just use an Xbox controller. Because I think most people that use Steam have PCs that they built when they play with controllers. I think the predominant way on PC to play with a controller is the Xbox controller. That's kind of the gold standard. I know there are people that use the DualShock and the DualSense, but that always seemed weird to me on PC in comparison.
This has been the go-to controller for me, and it's called a goalie kit.
Okay.
I got it from one of the dudes that I buy stuff off a lot of times. He was like, hey, I have this controller. I think it's for PC and stuff like that. And it was in the point where I was trying to find a new controller for my PC. And I love it. This thing has been one of the best investments I've had. I got it for $15, I think.
I bought one of those 8-bit do ones that look like a 360 controller that I have upstairs.
Yeah. And
then the only other thing that I have, and I think I've shown it before, but this is more of when I play emulator games, but I have this thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's an 8-bit do. And it's perfect for Nintendo, Super Nintendo and stuff. You can play modern games because it has everything. It has triggers.
Yeah.
But
it
just feels really weird. If I were to sit down and play a modern shooter with this controller, it feels really bizarre.
Understandable.
So, but playing old stuff, it's cool. Or playing a side scroller or something, perfect. Yeah. So, Steam, I was excited to see that. It came out of nowhere, and it was the kind of thing where I saw the announcement. I watched the Digital Foundry video on it because they were able to go to Valve and play around with the thing and look at it and stuff. I was like, this actually seems really cool. So
yeah, I agree.
A positive thing. So, because now from that we're gonna dip into negative. We're gonna talk more about Microsoft because they've taken some more L's since the last time that we've recorded. they continue to, and we know even more since I put this art. This is probably, I think, the first thing I put in here since the last time we recorded. So this was posted a while ago. But after releasing that, $1,000 handheld, the ROG Ally thing, they keep reiterating constantly when asked that the next gen console is going to be very premium, very high end, which tells me very expensive. So I think you don't keep saying that unless you're trying to prepare people for sticker shock.
Exactly.
So I do really think that this thing's going to be at least $1,000. I don't think it's going to be less. And I think it could be higher. The question is going to become, what does PlayStation do with their console? And also, if this console really is this premium, this high end, are developers going to scale for it? Because as someone who owns a PS5 Pro, and it is wild to me because I owned a PS4 Pro when that came out as well. And I would, if I compare both of those, like, developers were more apt to patch and make games run better on the PS4 Pro. That doesn't happen much with the PS5 Pro. Most recent example I can give you, Silent Hill F. Up until a week ago, I think, they just patched that game now to have pro support. Didn't even launch with it. And this happens more and more frequently with games. There's the other game that I'm interested in, I'm going to look forward on Black Friday, that Chronos, the New Dawn. That game specifically does not have a pro patch. And that's the main reason why I have not picked that game up yet, is that it doesn't have a pro patch. So why would I spend the money to play Chronos, the New Dawn, when it doesn't have a pro patch? But yeah, this, like, everything that's going on with Microsoft right now, all of this stuff with this premium console and everything, and what they're talking about doing with it and how crazy it's getting, like, they just keep digging themselves deeper and deeper into this hole where I feel like they aren't going to be able to get out of it. And a lot of their audience has left now. So it is wild and crazy to me that we're still there and we're still dealing with this. With all that being said about the console being very high, very premium, there's been some other bad things that have come out in the last, since the last time I recorded. They have raised the price of developer kits for the Xbox, which is ridiculous. On top of that, we learned that they have attached like this insane 30%, I think it is. I'm going to open the article so I make sure I have this correct. This absurd profit margin. So games that are developed first party have to hit this insane 30% accountability margin. It's a term Microsoft uses internally. According to people who are familiar with the business, Bloomberg says that also according to estimates from S&P Global Marketing Intelligence, the average profit margin in the gaming industry ranges between 17 and 22%. So Microsoft is holding their developers to a standard that is higher than the gaming industry standard, which is 17 to 22%. They're telling all of their developers they have to hit 30%. So they're setting an unrealistic goal. And that's why you're seeing a lot of these projects fail and a lot of these games that fail. And then, oh no, this game failed. The studio shut down. So it's just another situation where I feel like this whole brand is just set up for failure. One of the other big things in the Microsoft realm of things is the Halo announcement happened.
Woohoo.
And as predicted, as kind of rumored, it is a remake of Halo 1. I'm going to read, we got an email about it. I'm going to read the email. Michael from Hutchinson, Kansas. Hey guys, with Halo Campaign Evolve being announced, what's your overall thoughts on the future of Halo as well as this remake? So the most important thing to note about this whole thing, because I'll be honest, it was announced, whatever the Friday was, it was announced. It was in October. I think it was right after we recorded.
Yeah, I think so.
I did not watch the trailer that entire day, and I watched it later on. I purposefully watched the version of the trailer that was put up by PlayStation just to make it even more weird. My overall like opinion of it is like it's not what I want them to do. I'd rather them just put Master Chief Collection out. The game looks pretty, but I am skeptical about rebuilding the original Halo in Unreal 5.
Yeah.
They are adding so that this game will now be a 4-player co-op game. They're not doing any multiplayer. It's only the campaign. They're rebuilding each level. They're going to add weapons that were not in the original Halo from the trilogy. So like this for Halo 1, you're going to actually be able to pick up the sword. You could never do that in the first Halo.
Yeah.
They're redoing everything. It looks very pretty. Especially they showed a lot of silent cartographer. That's obviously the big level from Halo. Like again, visually it looks great. I'm glad that they brought back Steve Downs and Jen Taylor to do the voices. I'm not blown away by it. Like that's as a Halo fan, I just look at it, I'm like that's what we're gonna do. Like we always keep going back to the well. We don't just make a new fucking Halo game. It's really not that hard at this point. And so instead we're gonna remake it. I get why they're doing it because this is the first time it'll be on PlayStation. It also was that reminder that day that it happened. It's like, man, Xbox as you know it really is dead. Because now Halo is gonna be on PlayStation. And it's a very, very weird thing to see. I'm not against it, and I will be fair. I will play it.
Yeah,
I want to own a physical copy of it on PS5 because it's weird, kind of like Gears. I have that. It's still sealed on my shelf. At some point, Dan and I will look at that. But I want to. I do want it for that respect, and I will play it. But like, it's not the future that I would want for the franchise. They are also rumoring that they're going to remake Halo 2 and 3. 3 is my personal favorite, so. I don't know. Like I said, my issue with it is like we're just going back to the same old tried and true well of it's almost like the Terminator effect is what I would compare it to, where it's like, OK, we made Terminator 2. We can never get past the greatness that is Terminator 2. And it's the same thing with Halo. It's like we can never get past this original trilogy. We've tried, like Halo 4 is fine. Halo Reach, is a prequel. But ever since those games, it's just like Halo 5, disaster. Halo Infinite, not terrible, like a good swing and a miss, I would say, in a lot of respects. So they are also, I think I put it down lower on this list, but Halo Infinite's next major update will be its last so that Halo Studios can focus on multiple Halo titles in development. That tells me that they might be cooking with something else. So I would assume that whatever they are working on is probably going to be some sort of multiplayer thing.
Yeah,
because it will be free to play. Let's be fair. We're not going to put out a paid Halo multiplayer game in 2025 or 2026.
You never know.
But also, this is the other thing that you have to ask yourself amongst all this announcement of Halo. This game is going to launch next fall in November. And we are celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Xbox brand. And how do you choose to celebrate this? By putting your major franchise on a competitor's platform.
Sounds about right.
The other big announcement that happened while we were out, and this is probably the biggest announcement, I guess. It's not a shocking one. GTA 6 has been delayed. It's been delayed to November 19th, 2026. You know what? I'm happy. Because it's the week before Thanksgiving and I'm off the week of Thanksgiving. So I'll be playing Grand Theft Auto 6. But it's not surprising. No. From my understanding, the game, from what I was reading from different reports, stuff, the game is done. They just want to polish it for the next year. And that's fine. They want to put out a perfect product. They always do.
My thing is, as long as it's an actual perfect product and I don't have to worry about bullshit happening.
If you cut out when GTA 5 came out, if you go back to the original launch, if you cut out GTA Online and you just look at that as that single player game, it launched flawlessly.
Yeah.
If you talk about GTA Online, that's a different story. That thing was a broken, hot fucking mess for a month. But the actual game, it launched flawlessly. Yeah. So it's wild when you sit and think back, boy, that game launched on the Xbox 360 and the PS3. But
that's crazy.
Yes, it's been delayed again. I didn't put this in the news, but they did announce that they are updating that Red Dead Redemption 1 port for PS5 and Series X and Switch 2.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm crossing my fingers and hoping Red Dead 2. I really want to play. So I replayed Red Dead 1 last summer, I think it was, that PS4 version. Yeah. And I really want to replay Red Dead 2. But I know the minute I crack it open and I replay it, after I'm done with it, they'll be like, hey, here's this PS5 version. Yeah. So that's why I hold off. But I really want to replay that game again. Like when it came out, I remember spending like an entire month. That was all I did. And then I never played it again. And I enjoyed my time with it. It's a little long. The part where you go to Mexico is a little too much. But this is kind of a bummer. Condemned Criminal Origins, one of my favorite Xbox 360 games, has been delisted. There's not really a reason why, but it is important to note that the developer of this game, Monolith, is no longer around. So that probably plays a hand in it.
Probably why.
A bummer still. I have a physical copy of it, so. And I actually own it digitally too, actually, for the Xbox. So
I feel like you own a lot of copies of games that you sometimes don't know you.
So when I've gone through, and I've pretty much slowed down buying 360 games for my collection, because I'm at the point where I have pretty much everything I want for that.
Yeah,
give or take a few titles. But when I was doing all of that, Condemned, obviously, both of those games were early. I think Condemned 2. I have had since I bought it when it came out. I don't think I ever traded that game in, but Condemned 1 was one I had to get later on. Condemned 1 I will always remember as when the 360 came out. My buddy and I, we got it the day one, midnight or whatever you want to call it. And the first week we played a shit ton of Perfect Dark Zero, which is a bad game, but it was all you had. Because Call of Duty 2 had multiplayer that was broken when the system launched, and they didn't fix it till December. And then he had gone out ahead of time. He went all out. He went out because it was the first system I ever remember when it came out. For whatever reason, they released all the games and the peripherals, like the controllers and stuff, a week before the system came out. So he went out ahead of time, was like, bought 4 controllers, bought a bunch of the games. And so one of the third game that he had bought was Condemned. So we had played a shit ton of Perfect Dark online and stuff. And then I went over to his house and was like, let's play this Condemned game. Like, let's see what that's all about. And we spent like 2 straight fucking days taking turns playing that game until we beat it. It's like
that's wild.
One of my favorite memories of the 360. Like,
I feel like I have something incredible of Condemned on the 360, but I can't remember what. Outlast was the one I was thinking about.
Oh, okay. It's a similar type of game. Condemned 2 also a fantastic game. I really wish they would have made another one. Yeah. So, but it's a dead franchise. Little Samson. You've heard of Little Samson.
Of course. Who hasn't?
Everybody has. They're going to finally do a remaster of that game and put it out physically. I am bummed that it's Limited Run Games that's going to be doing that part of it, but they are doing it. I'm not surprised. Is it going to lower the price of that cartridge? Absolutely not.
I don't know.
But I was excited when I saw the announcement, and I remember because it wasn't on the sheet that I saw, and I text Dan and I was like, great. It's not a Limited Run Games thing. And a couple hours later that day, he texted me like, yeah, it is. And he sent me the picture. Like,
so you mean I can get this game in like 4 years whenever they decide to finally pull it out? I'm hoping
that it's one of those like, oh, we have it at Best Buy as well, and I can just order from Best Buy and not deal with them directly. So because I don't want to, wait 2.5 years for my copy. So
are you sure? Because I mean, I think it'll be worth it. I feel like it'll be worth it in like 2.5 years.
Probably not. Animal Crossing 3.0 free update adds a lot of new content for Animal Crossing. That is the only game I bought digitally for the Switch. That new one when it came out, because it was the height of the pandemic and there were shortages of physical game cartridges for that game at the time. So of everything, that's the only game I ever bought digitally, like major title. And I never bothered to get a physical copy of it. So I played like that first month when everybody was playing it. I played a shit ton of it, and then I never went back. That's my like Animal Crossing experience. Like,
I bought it for my one of my kids when it first dropped, and
it was huge.
It was big. I have never touched it, but I know so many people talk about it.
When that came out, and that was like March of 2020, right at the height of the pandemic, it was almost like the Switch had a second launch.
Yeah,
because so many people were buying those systems and the Switch lights and stuff. So, Resident Evil 9 had a new trailer. They did this really weird thing where, like, one day I got done with work and I loaded up YouTube, and like right at that time they had posted this video that was like the history and lore of Resident Evil, like where we are now, kind of recapping the series. It's narrated and stars the lady that played Lady Demestra or whatever her name is from Resident Evil 8. And it kind of goes through very loosely the history of Resident Evil, the mainline games up until this. And they show a new trailer for Resident Evil 9 at the end. I can tell you with certainty, like, Leon is in this fucking game. You can literally hear his voice in the trailer. They just don't show him. My theory on this game is that they're going to pull a Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay.
So I think everything you are seeing with this Grace Ashcroft character, I think that is the first part of the game. And I think at some point it's going to shift perspective to Leon. That's my prediction. I could be completely wrong. This is just me looking at everything that they've shown and going, it seems like there's a lot more to this game than just what we're seeing. So, and that's cool. Like, I'm happy they're keeping it a secret and they're not like showing a lot of the game. There's a lot of mystery surrounding it. So, but they announced a bunch of different editions. You can pre-order the game now, and they're going to make fucking amiibos for this game. But the amiibos will not be out at the launch of the game either. They're going to be out summer of next year. But yeah, I continue to be excited about Resident Evil 9, even though I'm not a huge fan of 7 or 8, but I'm liking the direction that they're going here. So maybe for me, it'll redeem itself. The CEO of Remedy is out after Alan Wake 2 and FCB Firebreak are both considered commercial failures. It's a bummer because Alan Wake 2 is a great game. We had all three of us had played Firebreak, and I thought that game was cool. It just didn't have enough content. So, but I thought there was a lot of cool things and cool ideas for that. Hopefully that doesn't affect Control 2. And right now they're working on a Max Payne remake, which I'm excited about. So
I'm down for that.
It's time. I think Max Payne needs a comeback. That sick, sweet-looking Terminator 2D game has been delayed yet again due to the physical edition. Be out in December now. The game looks awesome, but I'm bummed that it keeps getting delayed. I also don't like. I think they're charging it as a full-price game, and I think that's a mistake. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a very in-depth game, but I just looking at it, I'm like, this seems like maybe a $40 to $50 game, not $70. So, Square Enix undergoes mass layoffs as it reorganizes to consolidate development in Japan. I don't think that's really surprising because if you look at Square Enix, everything that has come out of there that's been massively successful has been from the Japan side of things anyways. Final Fantasy, Monster Hunter. Oh, wait, not Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is Capcom. We're talking Square Enix. Final Fantasy. What's the other one I'm thinking of? Square Enix. Dragon's Quest? Quest. Everything that comes out of there, though, it has been successful because Japan. So it makes sense, and I'm not surprised. So this is actually a news story from today, and I thought it's funny because I kid you not, I was looking at one of these earlier this week and considering it.
Aren't you glad you didn't?
I'm glad I didn't. So Nintendo released a new update this week for the Switch 2, and apparently a part of that update, it has locked out all third-party docks for the system. So if you bought one of those not Nintendo official docks to have like a second dock in your house, it's no longer going to work, which is a bummer. To be fair, a lot of those docks are considerably cheaper, like $30, $35. I think the official one is $90 to $100. So, because when I originally got it, I really wanted to buy a second dock because I had two for the original Switch. And then at the time I was like, I don't need it. I'm glad I haven't because the reason I pulled myself off the ledge of getting one of those at the time was I was like, man, if I really want to play my Switch upstairs or in the office here, I can just move this dock. Like, who cares? So, but it's a bummer for people that have done that. And then our last news article is going to be all about the disastrous launch of Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which is out today. I have not personally played the game. You have not personally played the game. It is on Game Pass. I don't think I'm going to. Like, I tried to play Black Ops 6 last year and I couldn't get into it. This looks worse to me.
I play Warzone, not gonna lie. But like, I play it very not often. And I don't play it a lot, but it's just one of those games where sometimes I'm like, you know what, I kind of want to play like a battle royale, but I actually want to play one that looks good, and that's when I jump in. But like, I haven't really been behind a Call of Duty game in a very, very long time.
Yeah,
and I just don't see how. I mean,
the last one that really like grabbed me was the Modern Warfare 1 remake.
Yeah.
And I was like, this actually was really good. Because at the time when it was announced, I laughed and I was like, this seems ridiculous to remake that game. But then playing it, especially the multiplayer, it actually kind of was taking me back. And I enjoyed the brief moment I did play that game. I enjoyed my time. And then I would say everything after that, I have not, either I haven't even touched it or I just haven't cared. The only one that I have played since that one was Black Ops 6, because it was the first one that was on Game Pass and I just couldn't get into it. This game has had a disastrous launch. The campaign is really short. It is a game that is always online, including the campaign, so you cannot pause the game. You cannot, if you idle too long, it'll kick you out. It does not have a checkpoint system in the campaign, which is bad, especially if you're playing on veteran.
Especially.
It also has AI generated art, which has pissed people off. I've seen screenshots of weird shit going on in that game where like I couldn't even tell you what the fuck is going on in the story of that game. It has made me go look at it and go, I have no interest in playing this. If you're playing it on PC, you have to do something with your BIOS to either turn on or turn off secure boot. I can't remember if it's one or the other. Otherwise, the game won't even load. I'm sure they'll patch that at some point, but it's been bad. It has been a bad launch. And I think this statistic I was telling you before we started recording was, as of earlier today, there are more concurrent players playing Arc Raiders than Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Think about that.
Because it's a good game.
So it, boy, not a good start. Maybe this will finally be the year. Because I don't really count the year that Hogwarts Legacy was the number one selling game, because that was an anomaly. Yeah. But this will be the first year that Black Ops is not the best selling game of the year, or Call of Duty in general. Maybe something will overtake it.
I feel like they're at a point right now where they could literally just stop. Like it's like they're.
I think they need to do an Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I think they need to take a couple years off, go underground, make something new, like really just like take everything out, think outside of the box, reinvent it, come back, give it like I'll be generous. Let's say 2 years.
I could do that.
Come back in 2 years and relaunch it like this. And just simply when you come back, just call it Call of Duty. Doesn't matter what the setting is. If it's modern, if it's, I wouldn't go in the future because kids apparently hate that. No, but either modern or in the past. Those are your two choices. Just call it Call of Duty. That's what I would do. So
I think that's a pretty good idea, because realistically, I feel like it just needs that kind of revamp where just like, I'm tired of the Black Ops 6. I'm tired of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I'm tired of like Call of Duty, whatever. Just call it Call of Duty, man.
How telling is it that now we've had in the last 5 years more Black Ops Call of Duties than we have anything else? Because there's Black Ops Cold War. There was, which I believe was 5. There's Black Ops 6 now, and a year later we're getting Black Ops 7. Is next year just Black Ops 8?
Well, the thing that bothers me is like, what really makes it Black Ops? Like, I don't know. I feel like the campaign has never really felt like that.
Not since like Black Ops 1, and then I thought 2 was cool. Yeah, because they kind of took it a little into the future. It wasn't like so far in the future that people were like, I don't like, because I don't, that's the weird part. Like, I liked Infinite Warfare. I thought that idea was really cool, but everybody hated it. But I like space and future stuff. So
I didn't hate it, but like it just wasn't one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And like
the game had a cool zombies mode though. That carnival map was really cool.
But I feel like you can make your money back by literally just doing Warzone and like a zombie mode, and like literally just doing something like that for like 2 years to kind of like let everybody just stop thinking about the game, because you're not buying Call of Duty for the campaign, you're buying it for the multiplayer.
That's what most people are. Yeah.
At this point, why are you even buying it for the multiplayer? Because it's just not worth it anymore. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. Battlefield 6 is still rocking. Arc Raiders is still going. Like, buy one of those if you really want to play a game like this. Like, just do yourself a favor, man.
Exactly. Game recommendations for the week. I'm just going to be real easy here and say Powerwash Simulator 2.
I'm going to make it easy on you too and say Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days, man.
Like I said, I just think if you really like the first Powerwash, if you didn't play the first Powerwash, play this one. It's a better version of the first game. Like the maps are a lot of fun, and it's also, I think this one's more colorful than the first game too. Really vibrant.
Okay.
Really having a good time with it. So
good.
I want to play more of it. I need to pull myself off these other simulator games. So there are too many simulator games.
I think you need to limit yourself to simulator games, like one new purchase a month.
That's the problem. It's like I would probably be done with Clair Obscure. I got in between the last time we recorded and this time, I also got the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD. So I have that. That's on the shelf sealed. Oh, yeah. I need to play 3 before I play. I would
definitely say, just looking at the trailers from Powerwash 1 to Powerwash 2, colors are hella vibrant. From the first to the second one.
Exactly.
Like it'd make you want to play this just because it looks more inviting, to be honest with you.
It does. You know, the one thing I've never done in that game in either of them is played co-op. Because like, you can play up to 4 people. Never have.
I mean,
I'm sure it works fine.
I'm pretty sure you get done with levels a lot faster too.
I think part of the reason why I haven't is I'm afraid of starting a level with somebody and then going, oh, we need to be done for the night, and then it's not going to save. And that's my fear, is like, I don't want to have to start because these levels are big. Like the one that I just finished is a giant barn with a silo, and that took fucking forever. Like probably 3 hours.
That makes sense.
So, but yeah, great game, highly recommended. Let's kick over to movies. Oh, you know what? As I'm looking at the movies, I realized I have one on my list too that you watched as well. So we'll talk about it together.
Horrible.
Because I was going to say, you probably hated it too. So, I will start with The Lawn Walk. So, while we are on break, I started, and this is important and relevant to the story of The Lawn Walk. While we were on break, I had for the last couple months a tooth issue, and where I was flossing one day, and when I pulled the floss, it just pulled out a piece of my tooth, just chipped right out.
Wow.
And so I'm not going to go into the details of how, like, getting a hold of a dentist, but basically I went from one dentist to another. In the midst of this, in the last week, when I finally got into a new dentist and it was determined, like, okay, we're going to have to do a root canal and then they're going to do a crown. In that week, from going and having that initially done to the following week, around, I'd say Monday of that week, this tooth got infected. So I had 2 days before I went in for that appointment where I was in like the worst tooth pain I've ever had in my life.
Yeah,
it was horrible. So I couldn't tell you how much like Advil I took those 2 days, because I'm just like, it was so much. So when we got to Tuesday night, which was the night before I went in for the root canal, I couldn't concentrate on a game. I'm like, I fucking can't do this tonight. So I looked and I had 2 movies, and I was like, I'm going to watch The Lawn Walk. And I immensely enjoyed The Lawn Walk. And I would honestly sit here and tell you it's one of the best movies that I've seen this year. It has a rug pull of an ending that kills the entire momentum of the movie, to the point that it's one of those kind of endings where when it's done, you question what was even the point. And it's such a damn shame because not only is it a really good movie and it works really well, and it holds your interest and keeps you entertained for the entire time for a movie that is essentially people walking from one part of the country to the other, right? Like that's the whole premise of it.
Right.
I did not know this. I looked this up after. It stars Philip Seymour Hoffman's son.
Oh,
he's an actor now. He's really good. And then the other dude is the dude that played the android in Alien Romulus. And he's also a really good actor.
Okay.
They're both really fucking good in this movie. Also it has Mark Hamill. He's the general. He's really fucking nasty. But I feel like also his character is very one dimensional. They could have done more with him. The issue is, again, it is incredibly enjoyable. It gets to a point at the end where you look at it and you go, okay, it can go one of three ways. Two of those ways that this end could go, one of them seemed very predictable. And if it would have ended that way, I've been like, okay, that was kind of predictable, but I enjoyed my time. Another one was like, okay, that's a little more unpredictable, but all right. And the third option, which is what they choose to do, is one of those like, why did we even bother with this entire thing? So I won't spoil what it is, but it is a damn shame because up until that point, it is such an it is an enjoyable movie. It's dark and it's depressing, but what's going on? But I enjoyed my time with it up until that point. So it was a real bummer. It was a 6 out of 10 for me. And it is a strong 6 because of how good it is up until that point.
Yeah.
I watched The Black Phone 2. That's the most recent movie I watched. Overall, I liked it. I don't think I need a third Black Phone. I'm sure they're going to do it because it was successful. Ethan Hawke is still very good. I will say what's really odd about it is it definitely, when you start it, it definitely seems very derivative of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Because that's really what they're going for. But it is different enough that it doesn't, to me, it did not feel like a direct ripoff of Nightmare on Elm Street. It does definitely feel like its own thing. It does go into the backstory of who the grabber is and what he comes from, which is interesting. I really like that it stars the same child actors from the first movie that are older now.
I like that too.
That's more important to me than just like going out and getting new actors. That's a really cool part of this movie. I will say some of the kills which involve children are pretty brutal. Little brutal. Like if you're not prepared for that, you might be shocked. But overall, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I don't need a third one.
Yeah.
It was a 7 out of 10 for me. So I would recommend it. The first one is the better movie for sure, but it's good. The only other thing that's really weird is every time they're in like the dream world, which is like, it's very equivalent to like Freddy and what Freddy does in, the dream world. It has almost this weird, like VHS quality to let you know, like we're in the dream world, but it's distracting to me. It looks weird. It's like a VHS grain filter that just looks weird. And it distracted me. I am now a man that has seen Terrifier 2.
Boo.
I am shocked that I enjoyed most of my time with Terrifier 2. I will say it's too long.
Boo.
It's 2.5 hours long. That's too long for a horror movie. All of the kills, with the exception of one, are comical. They're over the top. I laugh. Like there's one scene where the mother gets blown away by like a shotgun in their garage. I laughed out loud because it was absurd to me. But there is the one famous scene that everybody talks about with the salt. That is too much. That is the point where we were watching it and I'm just like, all right, this is too far. Like this is like, end this person's suffering. Like we're going too far with this. So, but the other stuff in the movie, like the other kills, it's comical. Like nothing about it bothered me or rubbed me the wrong way. I like how that movie looks. And I would say the same thing about the first one. Like it really feels like it's from an 80s era when you watch it.
I see what you could say on that. Garbage.
There's a really cool like color palette to it. But there are sequences and scenes in that movie, not even the scenes with Art the Clown, but like with what her name's Sienna Shaw, I think that's the name of the main chick.
Yeah.
In the movie, there are scenes with her and like her friends. There's a whole sequence where like they go to a club and are dancing. It's way too fucking long. It's also very predictable. Like as I'm watching it with my fiance, who's seen it many times now. There's the scene where more than I can count. I have so much Art the Clown merchandise in this house. It's absurd. We're watching it, and there's the sequence where the one girl's in the car with the boy, and they're like kind of making out, and then he's like, I need to pick me up. And I predicted everything that was going to happen in the scene as we're watching. I'm like, he's going to open the glove compartment and have cocaine, right? Oh, it's cocaine. Like it was literally that. And then he's like, the minute he's like, I got to take a leak, and he gets out of the car, I looked at my fiance. I'm like, Art the Clown's going to show up and rip this dude's ding dong off, isn't he? Like, that's what I'm going to see in this movie. And sure enough, that's what happened. I was like, see, I called it. Like, but the rest of it, like, I don't know. Is this something I would rewatch over and over again? Fuck no. But I didn't hate it. So we are going to watch the third one Black Friday weekend, and then I'll be caught up, I guess.
I'm so excited, man. I can't wait for you to wait. Can't wait for your
third
movie
one,
review on that one.
The third one, we get more of the plot and the storyline and the. I already know about it.
The third one is the best one out of the two. That story. Story-wise.
The thing about that one is like I've seen the chainsaw scene. I've seen the scene of Santa getting his legs broken off by the like. I've seen the big parts of that movie, and I know how it ends. So it's kind of like I've already seen it, but. Yeah. We'll watch it. I'll talk about this, but I didn't hate it. For me, Terrifier 2 is a 7 out of 10. Like I actually enjoyed my time with it, but it's too long. Doesn't need to be that long. And the last movie I watched, and you watched it as well, apparently. Garbage. And this, I will preface this by saying the last time we recorded, I said that Him is the worst movie I've seen in 2025. I am going to officially resend that. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Bone Lake is the worst movie I've seen of this year.
Of 2025.
It is so bad. It is a waste of fucking time.
It really is.
The twist of the movie is horrifyingly terrible. Awful.
Terrible.
Awful. In every part, like the acting is bad.
It gets a 0 out of 10.
I would agree with that. I think it's a 0. Like I think it's a disaster of a fucking movie. And
it's so bad.
I don't even want to talk about what the twist is. Like it's revolting.
We don't have to talk about it. It's just garbage. Don't spend your time watching.
Don't spend your time. Don't waste your time. Like I was pulled in by the marketing because I thought that it was hilarious that they put out a poster that said Bone Lake, and then they put the R restricted next to Bone, so it said Boner Lake. And I thought I was like, all right, this is dumb. I'll watch your shit movie because you did that. I'm sorry, I fucking did.
Movie.
It sucks.
It's a shitty movie.
It is so fucking bad. Do not waste your time with Bone Lake. Horrible fucking movie.
Horrible.
That is everything that I've watched. Yeah, that is everything that I've watched in the last month. So I will kick it over to you.
So of course I have a lot more than you.
You do. You usually do that.
So I watched a new Afterburn movie. It's the newest Dave Bautista film.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
It was actually really good. I can appreciate Dave more depending on the roles he has. Like I feel like his action roles are really good, and I feel like when he tries to be dramatic, his roles are pretty solid there too. I think the thing about Dave is he's very smart at picking the specific movies he wants to tie himself to. And I feel like this is one of those. It was very well done action wise. Essentially what it is, it's like the end of the world happens.
Okay. And
he's working for, I should say, the leader of the U.S. And he's essentially like, what do you call it?
You say the leader, I think of that episode of The Simpsons right away. Oh. The leader is good. The leader is great.
He's essentially like a supply runner. So like this guy's like, hey, there's something over here I need you to get it for me and bring it back to me. And I'll just pay you for whatever you want. Oh, okay, cool. Not a problem. Essentially, all Dave is trying to do is get up enough supplies and money for a boat that he's just trying to get off of the. So he's just essentially trying to be by himself, you know? The guy's like, well, I want you to go into this part of Europe because I'm looking for the Mona Lisa. That's what I want. And come to find out, the Mona Lisa he's looking for is an actual fucking nuclear bomb. And he's trying to find it before the guy in Europe finds it, because the guy in Europe wants it so he can essentially kill everybody in Europe that, you know, fights against him, you know, rebels against him in a way. I really enjoyed it. I thought overall it was a decent film. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. It's not bad. The only problem I absolutely had was for it to be the end of the world, they could get beer really fucking easily.
That seems crazy to me.
It was really weird. And it wasn't like it was like beer in like a random were learning how to, it's literally like a Modelo. And he's just like holding one. And in my head, I'm like,
I don't think that would work that way.
Yeah, in my head, I'm like, I don't think that's how that works, but okay, sure. I guess we can.
I could believe if like they were, you know, pouring stuff out of a homemade keg or something, end of the world.
That would have
sure.
felt a lot better. But
just
he's like
Modelo cans or like bottles, like no.
Literally like, oh, let me get you a drink, and I'm like, okay, what is it? And then he literally goes to the fridge and just pops it off and hands it to him. And I'm like, so you telling me these fucking Bud Light and Modelo companies are just fucking still here, just fucking poshing out things? That was the only problem I really had with the whole movie and all. And of course, then I watched Bone Lake, garbage movie. Don't ever watch it.
Don't watch Bone Lake.
I went ahead and watched Freakier Friday because I was like, what's this going to be about? If you enjoyed the first one, you're going to enjoy this one. I really feel like Jamie
It's not
Lee...
too complicated.
No,
because when I saw the like I've seen bits and pieces of the original one, but I never watched it. But I saw the trailer for this one, and it seems like we're making this too complicated now.
So you would think it's more complicated. So essentially, what it is it's Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan as the mom and the mom, or the mom and the grandma. Lindsay Lohan has a daughter. That daughter has like an arch nemesis at her school, which is like this English girl. Well, they get into a fight, and Lindsay Lohan meets her dad, and they kind of hit it off.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, the film is teaching all of them to work together.
Yeah.
You know, to get through it. Essentially, it's like the first one. So it really isn't actually too complex and complicated. It legitimately feels like the first one, just kind of redone in this generation with a bigger arc, I guess you could say, with it utilizing the grandma, the mom, and then the two girls. So no, it wasn't too complicated. I actually really enjoyed it. Again, I watched the first one. I enjoyed the first one too. I didn't think it was anything wrong with it.
Like I said, I've seen bits and pieces of the first one over the years, but I don't think I've ever watched the whole thing.
Yeah, so if you just like this kind of family kind of like movie, it's not a bad movie. If this is the kind of thing you're into, like just families working together and learning to be one, it's not a bad film. It's actually really solid. I give it a 6 out of 10. It's really good. I ended up watching I Know What You Did Last Summer, the most recent remake. Let me put it to you this way. It's not horrible. After watching Bone Lake, I felt like this was a really
masterpiece in comparison.
The thing that I thought was really cool, so like I was concerned it was just going to be like a remake, and then Freddie Prinze and Jennifer Love Hewitt, their characters weren't really going to be their characters. It was just going to kind of be like them kind of like making a cameo of some sort like that.
Yeah, sure.
But it wasn't. So essentially what happens is essentially kind of plays out the way the first one did, where they end up killing a person, and, you know, that person ends up haunting them the next summer. Jennifer Love Hewitt's character is the same character from the first movies, like the first set of movies. And Freddie Prinze's junior character is the same character from the original movies, just them grown up. So like she no longer lives in the town, but Freddie Prinze Jr. still lives in the town. And it's, while the new people they got aren't really that good And what really is really weird is like two of the main male actors essentially favor each other, like really bad. Not like bad in like a negative way, but bad in a point where I really couldn't tell either one of them apart.
That's weird.
When they died.
Okay.
Like, and so like once one died, I was like, okay, so who was he? Like, who was he a part of? Like, who was his associate? Like, who was his girlfriend? Because literally they looked identical and they were not memorable. So all in all, I mean, I give it a 5 out of 10. It wasn't the worst movie I've seen, but it's also not something that I'd watch again. And the twist at the end was, you could kind of see it happening. Okay. It's on Netflix. Like, just,
yeah.
I say if you enjoyed the first I Know What You Did Last Summer, it was a good nod to that one. Like, Sarah Michelle Gellar makes a return in this one in like
that
a dream
sense,
sequence.
Though, because Freddie Prinze is in the movie too.
Yeah, so she makes a dream sequence return back in it, and it was actually really cool to just kind of see her character come back.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. It wasn't this bad.
I mean, again, you just watched Bone Lake, so.
I mean, I've watched some horrible horror movies recently, and out of all of them, this one probably wasn't the worst one I had seen. I'd probably give it like a 5 out of 10. It's not that.
Okay.
I ended up watching The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
This is the remake or whatever.
Yeah, the one on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
That was bad. It wasn't that great.
Okay. I've heard not good things about that too. So
the villain, the girl who is the villain, looks like a bad person. Like, there's not.
I'll look it up now.
No offense. Like, if she ran into me and she was like, I'm a babysitter, I'd be like, I don't want you near my kids, homie. So. Like, I don't think you deserve, you look very suspicious. And so it's like, it's funny because then like throughout the entire movie, I'm like, you ain't see this coming. Like, you can't tell.
Is it that Maika Monroe chick or is it Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
Let me pull it up real quick.
Was she blonde or brunette?
I think she was the blonde.
So that's that Makia Monroe chick, and I think that's the girl that was in Long Legs and It Follows.
Yeah, her. Okay. Makia Monroe. Yeah, she was the villain, and like, I mean, just looking at her picture on Google, she looks like a villain. Like,
yeah, like she was good in Long Legs, and like at the time It Follows came out, I did not care for it. I'm in the minority on that, but it's a movie that I feel like I should go back and watch.
I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was great.
I just didn't like it at the time, but
yeah,
I think the premise is interesting.
So for the villain that she plays the character very well. Okay. But like I said, there's no way I'd look at this girl and be like, yeah, you can watch my kids. It was okay. It was like I'd give it a 4 out of 10. It's not horrible. And then I watched VHS Halloween, which was actually, for me, I think it was better than the last one that came out, which was, I think it was like 94, wasn't it?
I didn't watch 94. The last one I watched was Beyond, which was the sci-fi one. That might have been 2 years ago.
So maybe I didn't watch that one.
Okay.
I watched, I think it was Beyond.
94, they did 99, they did Beyond, which was the sci-fi one, and then the most recent one is Halloween.
So I did watch 85. That was the one I was thinking of.
85, they did that too.
So I started 94, I started 85, and I think I didn't watch 99, but I didn't really care for 84, 80, or 94 and 85. I can't watch them. I can't get through them. I think the stories aren't really there for me.
Yeah, it's been hit or miss in these most recent ones.
This one was actually pretty good. Like, and I know you said you want to watch it because of one of the stories.
There's one storyline I was reading about like the stuff with the kids. But again, the problem I always have with horror movies is what I read I then imagine in my mind, and it's much worse than what actually is ever depicted on screen. So
I will tell you, when they talk about the story you're referring to, when they're talking about the kids, what happens to the kids, you don't really see.
Okay.
And what you do see happens to the older kids. So like the 16, 17-year-olds that actually look like older characters. So it doesn't feel as bad, because like when you told me that, I'm watching it and I'm like, what's he talking about? Because I don't see what he is. And then I got to that part and I was like, oh, I see what he's referring to.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. It actually wasn't that bad. I enjoyed this one. I thought it was really good, and I thought the stories that they did were really cool.
I always find with those movies that after the first two, the segments are hit or miss. Like you always get one that's like really good, and then you might have one that's or two that are a dud. Outside of the first two, I think every story was really good in the first two. I think
this one was one that actually grabbed my attention and actually kept me interested the entire time.
Okay.
Which was really good. I also watched this movie called Hell House Lineage. Don't do it to yourself. It's a 0 out of 10. It's complete and utter fucking garbage. And I watched Good Fortune.
That's the Keanu Reeves movie.
Keanu Reeves, Seth Green. No, not Seth Green. Seth
Rogen?
Rogen, thank you.
Okay.
Like Seth Green. And Aziz Ansari.
Okay. That guy's pretty funny.
It's not bad.
Okay.
The story is essentially just learning to be happy with the life that you're given. Okay. And I think Keanu Reeves plays a really good dumb angel.
Keanu Reeves is always pretty good. So
he's very good in this movie too. I think he's really well done. I'd give this one a solid 7 out of 10. I'd watch it again. I think
he's at a point in his career now where he just picks roles that he wants to have fun with.
Same. I feel like after John Wick, he's essentially at this point now where like I could just really do whatever I want.
We've talked about it at length before, but like they talk about wanting to do another John Wick, but I don't need it. Like I feel like that last one had the perfect ending.
I don't need any more John Wick movies. I think I'm perfectly fine.
I never watched Ballerina. I probably should.
I haven't seen that one yet either. I probably should watch that.
Should watch, because I actually heard it was pretty decent. I just didn't get around to it.
But I think this was good. I think Seth played a really good character, and I think Keanu did really great. And Aziz Ansari as the main character, I really enjoyed him in this one. So I think if you definitely get the opportunity, give this one a watch. Do you have any
interest in the Running Man remake that's out this weekend?
I kind of want to see it.
So like I have seen the original Arnold movie a couple times. I don't have like a major affinity for it. Like it's fine. So because I get a lot of people that look at this and they're upset because it's not like the original movie. And I think the one thing that I heard today, and I can see what they're talking about, is like that original movie had a very like campy element to it, kind of like RoboCop.
Yep.
Think about the original RoboCop.
Yep.
And that's not going to be as prevalent in this new one. I like Glenn Paul a lot too, and I think he's, I do too. Honestly, if like from the trailer and stuff, I think he's perfectly cast for this role. I would like. I'm not going to rush out the theater, but I would like to see it.
No, I think I'm definitely going to watch it when it comes out.
Yes.
I am super interested in it. I think it looks really good. I do remember watching The Running Man of the Arnold one.
I just rewatched it recently, not that long ago.
The downfall I have with is when you remake movies based off of movies that came out in the 80s and the 90s, and you kind of do it the same way, you run into the issue where people are going to be like, oh, the original was just so much better. I don't understand why they did it. So it's kind of like you have to adapt and you have to change it in some way, because people are just gonna think you're just redoing the original. The other thing
too is like, so the original movie is an adaptation of a Stephen King short story. Yeah. And that original movie, well adapted from that short story, is not really representative of that short story very much. It has, it's more of like, it takes elements of it. Whereas this new movie, from my understanding, I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the trailers, seems more in line with what that original story is. So, which is interesting.
I do also want to see that.
Like, I always think back to like Pet Sematary is a good example where like that original movie is a classic. It's one of my favorites. And they did that remake in like 2019 that has that twist in the middle of it where it's the older sibling, not the younger one, that gets into the accident. And I thought that at the time, and I only watched that remake once. I have not seen it again since it came out. But at the time, I thought that was a good idea for that remake.
Yeah.
Because it's still a remake, but it does something different with it. So, and I thought that was a smart and cool idea. So
yeah.
I look at that the same way I kind of look at this Running Man thing, where it's like you can take the same movie and do something different with it. And honestly, I think that's the smart route to go with it, with something like this. So
I agree. I
also don't have that movie on this like sacred pedestal. Like, don't remake it like RoboCop, for example. Like, they remade it. It was terrible. Like, don't. It was
terrible.
It is horrible. I went to the theater.
Yeah, I think if you have to do something different while still kind of paying homage to the original.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like this one does a decent job of that. So I'm super interested in watching it.
I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that new Osgood Perkins movie, Keeper. Looks really weird.
Yes.
Got very mixed reviews, but I it's a horror movie. I expect that. It can't be as bad as Bone Lake. So,
God, nothing. If we are moving forward and putting every movie against Bone Lake, everything is going to be better. Like, I just don't see what the problem is.
It's so bad. I'm interested in that. I am begrudgingly will watch Predator Badlands when it's up. I know I'm not going to like it. I've seen enough of it that I have issues with, and I haven't even seen the movie yet, where I'm just like, God, I'm going to sit down and force myself to get through that, but I know I'm going to be upset to watch it. But I will watch it when it's up. I won't go to the theater. So I was excited to go see that movie in the theater until they announced the PG-13 release, and like everything since that, like all the stuff that's coming out, like I don't know what you've seen of that movie, but like he's literally having conversations that are subtitled, and I'm like, this is not Predator.
The thing that kills me the most about that movie is the fact that they are pushing 3D so heavily.
I'm like, too. I don't get that either. Like
why are you pushing?
Why don't you
3D
wait
so
one more
big?
month and push it for Avatar?
Yeah, like that doesn't make any sense.
I won't ever see, but
because
that makes sense to do it for that movie, right?
Avatar would probably be a better movie to put in 3D than fucking Predator Badlands. It's
Avatar.
Just like, I don't know.
So
but
Avatar,
I never watched the second Avatar either. So
Avatar, when that originally came out, I went to the theater, and when I originally saw it, I saw it in 3D. I was like, it was okay.
Yeah,
and then I watched it again. Not in 3D when it came out on Blu-ray or whatever at the time, and was like, this is actually not great.
Not a good movie.
And after that, I never watched Avatar 2. I have no interest, and I will not watch Avatar 3. I would rather see James Cameron make something that isn't Avatar, and I'm upset.
Give me an ET 2, dog.
I am upset that he is like, I'm just going to make Avatar movies for the rest of my life. I have like 6 more of these that I want to make. Like, why?
Stop.
And they keep making money, but I'm like, who's going? Like,
not me.
I know that's the biggest mystery to me when it comes to I'm like, who is going to that movie repeatedly that it's making $1 billion at the box office? I don't get it.
There's got to be one person just going a lot.
Hopefully by the time the next time we record, I will have some of these other movies that are out now will hit digital. I think Predator will be I still predict, because me and my buddy keep talking about, I'm like, Predator is a movie that will be on digital before Thanksgiving. It has to.
Oh yeah, it has to be.
It has to be. They want to get that crowd.
Yeah.
So I definitely will watch that. There was something else. I'm gonna click over and see. There was one other movie that's on my list to watch that I didn't get to, and I know if it loads here. Let's see. Because I got the Black Phone 2. What was the other one? Oh, I don't know if you watched it or not. Did you ever watch that Good Boy?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Okay.
I started it. I maybe like 5 minutes into it, and I'm gonna watch it though. Okay. I really do like the idea behind it.
And then there's also the Smashing Machine, which I'll probably peep at some point, because I would like to. I would like to see that. I'm sure I'm sure even though that was a, commercial bomb, it's probably fine. The movie itself.
Yeah, I really feel like, and I listened to one of the most recent Chris Van Vliet interviews, and he had that guy Mark Kerr on.
Yeah.
And that guy spoke really highly of that movie. He was like, man, Rock did like a fantastic job like portraying me in the movie. He's like, basically I really felt like it was just my entire life for like, I think it's a span of like, I forgot how it's like a 4-year span of his life.
Okay.
And he was just like, yeah, I feel like he did a fantastic job portraying me within those years, like just overall, And
okay.
After I heard that, I was like, okay, well, I mean, if the guy who lived this fucking life is saying that Rock did good, because he also said there was a documentary that came out for him that essentially followed the same timeline, but he did not like the way the documentary highlighted what he was, like what was going on in his life, even though he talks about it. It was a bad time in his life and whatnot. He just doesn't like the way he didn't like the way the documentary handled it. And so I'm like, well, if this guy is talking about the fact that, Rock's movie is better than this documentary, then I really do want to see it because it sounds like an interesting movie. So, I mean, I'll definitely watch that by the time we record next time.
We can kick over to emails, but I'm going to lead the emails with one that's relevant to movies.
Yeah.
And that is Justice from Orlando, Florida says, howdy guys. Now that we have a trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, what do you all think? I personally think it looks great.
I can't wait.
I think it looks good. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a brief trailer. It's funny to me that the trailer has more lines from Luigi than it does Mario. Mm-hmm. But it also makes me hopeful that Luigi will have a more prominent role, because I think that was my biggest gripe with the first movie, is that he kind of was. They definitely did some cool stuff with like the haunted section or whatever in that first movie, but like I'd like to see him have more of a role. So I
can agree. I definitely agree.
It looks good. Yeah, like everything about it. I saw the trailer. I will say, like, I've never played Galaxy 1 or 2. Those are the two Mario games that they were on the Wii. I wasn't a big fan of the Wii at the time, so I never played those. So I'm not like super familiar with those games. But I know that they're extremely popular. Makes sense to do that next. After the first one, and I'm sure there'll be, again, like the first movie, a ton of references to the other games and stuff. So not just Galaxy and Galaxy 2, but
for sure.
I think the thing that continues to impress me is it Illumination Studios? That's the studio, right? They do a fantastic job with how those movies look, like animation wise. They look really vibrant good. And really, again, it's the same thing where, like, when we were kids, this is what I would have wanted, not the super fucking dark live action. I have reverence for it, but it's not the movie that I would have wanted as a kid. After the cartoons that we watched, for Mario and Mario World and stuff. It's like, and then you get this super dark, gritty 90s live action.
No,
Dennis Hopper is King Cooper or King Koopa. Like,
I finally watched the trailer for it the other day, and I thought it was fantastic. Like, I'm really excited. Like, my youngest really likes Mario, and I think that's one of the movies
I need to rewatch that first movie again, because I only saw it when it came out in theater. I bought it on 4K, but I never sat and rewatched it.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's funny because every night when I walk the dog and I walk down my street here, there's a house that we pass, and almost every single time, and I walk different hours of the day. It's not always the same exact times every day. Yeah. There is a house that plays. They must play this movie for their kids over and over again. It is the same scene. I kid you not. Every time I walk by the beginning of the Mario movie with the ice area and King Koopa.
Yeah.
Every time I walk by, it's the same scene. I'm like, how many times has this guy probably had to watch this movie? So, but I'm excited for it. I think it's beginning of next April is when it comes out. So
yeah,
definitely, absolutely, I will go to the theater again and see that right away. So I'm excited about that.
I agree.
That first movie is great.
Yeah.
Great. So,
Fantastic.
Grant from White Plains, New York. Howdy, guys. Grand Theft Auto 6 is delayed until November 19th, 2026. Are you all surprised by this? And does it even hit on that date, or do you think it gets a further delay? I really think it's going to hit that date. I don't think it gets delayed.
Same.
I don't think it gets delayed into 2027. And I was talking, and obviously Dan's not here, but I was talking to him about it. And this is where I think we have a little bit of a disagreement on it. I think they want it to hit in November because it maximizes on holiday next year. Yep. And I get where he's coming from. Like, it's Grand Theft Auto. It doesn't matter when you put it out. And I agree with that. Doesn't. But they know how big this game's going to be.
Well, not only that, but you got to think, like, how many parents are going to go buy Grand Theft Auto for their kid because
it's a week before Black Friday.
Exactly.
Every kid, it doesn't matter that it's fucking Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
Every kid is going to ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and most parents will buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it gets delayed again. I think it's a lock, and I think they want it to come out in that holiday. They don't want it to miss fiscal 2026.
Yeah.
That's why you got the delay that you did. Yeah. I was predicting it'd be September. So I was a little surprised at November, but it makes sense. Brian from Whitewater, Wisconsin. Howdy, guys. Just saw the announcement of the Steam machines, and I really like the concept of this idea. Especially, it seems like it's going to sit in the middle ground between the Series S and the PS5. Do you think Valve can actually enter the console space with this thing and maybe even take some of Microsoft's market share? I would like to see it happen, actually, but I don't know if I don't know if it really will happen, just because it still is kind of an odd thing. And like, I feel like most people that play games on Steam are people that are already comfortable building their own computer.
Yeah.
And or buying one that's built custom. Yeah. But so I do feel like there's a market for it, but I don't think it's going to be like the Xbox or the PlayStation releasing a new system where it's like everybody's getting in line and everything. I do think it'll do well, and I think over time, as more and more people buy it, I think I do think it'll sell out when it gets announced. Because the Steam Deck did the same thing. But
same.
I am excited for it. I think it's a really cool idea. Like I said, if I get one, I wouldn't get it right at launch. I'd wait and see how it does, but I'm not really the market for it because I'd rather just build a new PC next year myself.
Same. So I feel like there's really nothing that would make me want to snag it. Not just because I have my computer, I have an Xbox, I have a PlayStation. I don't really see the point in just getting another console to where I can play the games that I play on my PC on my TV.
Agree.
So I'm okay. Like I don't need it in my life. Now, don't get me wrong. If I run across one in the wild and it's hella cheap, I'm gonna snag it because I think it'll be cool.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I'm like gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe it's good here. I need one now. No, I don't.
No.
I'm okay.
Well, I'm also in the boat, like I said, where I have a Steam Deck, and like if there is something I really want to play on the TV, I have the dock, I can do that. And I've done that before, but like. I have a better argument for owning a Steam Deck because it is a handheld device, and it's cool to have that. Whereas, like, if I want to be playing most games on Steam, like, I can just go on my computer. Like, it's not a huge deal. So, but I'm glad it exists. I think it's a really cool thing, and I hope it does. I honestly hope that it does.
I agree.
I should have read the other because we have another email about it too. Andrew from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I think it's really cool that Steam seems to be entering into the console space with the Steam machine. I've had a Steam Deck since it was launched, and it's been my go-to since I got it, so much that I even passed on getting a Switch 2. How do you guys feel on it? I mean, obviously, like I said, I think it's a cool thing. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see how it does. But yeah, I will just continue to play my Steam games on my computer.
I am hoping that maybe I run across somebody in my life who grabs one so I can actually just try it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
and that's the other thing that I feel like it's probably going to be handled like a Steam Deck where you can only buy it directly from Valve. I don't think you're going to be able to walk into like a Best Buy and buy one, or Best Buy is kind of dead. Will Best Buy even be around when the Steam
no, probably not.
Probably not. You can go buy a refrigerator from there.
Oh, maybe I can log my cube, my Steam cube, to my TV, and I could play my Xbox there along with my PlayStation game.
There you go.
God damn. Like, no, thank you.
Brett from Edmond, Oklahoma. Now that we have the sales numbers for Ghost of Yotai, do you guys think that the game is a sales success, or is there cause for concern? There's a giant amount of controversy around the game, and I'm not quite sure if it seems like it's affected sales. Any thoughts? So obviously this game has had like a big controversy around it because of the actress that plays the main character is controversial, I guess, in the political landscape. I don't want to really get into politics. It's like the thing I don't want to talk about on this podcast. But there has been a huge back and forth in the last month I've seen going about, like, is this game successful? Is it not? And I think with the sales numbers, because I think they announced in the first week it sold 3.2 million copies, which that's a big deal for any game. But if you compare it to the original game, Ghost of Tsushima, that sold 6 in its first week. So it is a drop off, and typically for a sequel you want it to be doing better than the original, and it didn't in this case. So I do think in that case, I think some of the controversy probably did affect it. My thing about that game has never been the controversy. I don't know, for whatever reason, I look at the trailers and I think it's a very pretty looking game. And I played the first Ghost of Tsushima. It was my game of the year that year. This one just isn't doing it for me. Like, I watch those trailers, I'm just like, I don't think I care about this right now. Like, I might play it down the road when it's on a sale or something, but that was my whole feeling on it. Was like, I just don't think I care about it right now. So, but as far as like the whole controversy aspect of it, like, I think it played a little bit of a hand into it, but I also just think like this year's been really weird for games. There's been a lot. I think if the one thing that's taught us this year is like indie games have done really well. Games that are in that $50 range. Look at an example I like to use a lot this year is Mafia. Like, the overall that game was fine, but it came out at $50. I think it did so well that they're going to make another one. They did announce that recently. I don't think I put it in the news. But it did so well because it was at that $50 price point. And I think for its length and for what it offers, I think it was worth $50. And I think that's something to go into it. Whereas I think you look at like Ghost of Yotai, it's a $70 game. It's a little more complicated. So I kind of, for me, I think about it in the way that how people are talking about Pokemon Z to A right now. Oh, man.
And the fact that you have like a handful of people who are like, I love this game, I think it's fantastic. And the handful of people that are like, we're not saying that the game is bad. The problem is the game is $70 and it looks like this. Like, at this point, it's like, I get it, but you shouldn't have made it $70. You should have put it down at a decent price range.
Well, I think you should point out it's $70 for the Switch version. It's $80 for the Switch 2 version.
Right. So it's like, what are you like? I get it. You're capitalizing on Pokemon and you're wanting to make as much money as possible, but it's like, sometimes you just got to like bite the bullet. You're still going to make your fucking money. Like,
exactly.
But why not fucking make it affordable so that people can actually buy it?
That other people,
Because think about it. If you weren't getting it at an $80 price tag and it looks the way it looks and it plays the way it plays, and you were getting for like $49.99, and I would even say the Switch 2 version, bump it up to $59.99 if you really want to do it like that. People probably wouldn't bitch as much because guess what? We're not pushing that much money into it. But the problem is, man, it's like you keep putting these games at such a high price tag that just people don't want to. At this point, you're better off just waiting for a sale because like. I get it. Ghost of Yotai is a good game, but I have Ghost of Tsushima and I still haven't played through it yet.
It's a great game.
And I've heard great things about it. It's not that I have anything on it. I just haven't started it.
The other thing, and this will probably get into controversy territory a little bit differently, and I'm sure this might give us some Borderlands level blowback. I don't know, but. Clip it. I think that there is a portion of the audience, especially when it comes to PlayStation side of things, it's very easy to argue in the last 8 years, they've kind of continued to make the same type of game first party.
And that's
open
the biggest
world
problem I have.
Exploration.
I was just talking to my wife about that, where I was like, you know what? I want a game that doesn't make me do open world. I sometimes don't want to spend 150 hours. Well, and I sometimes just don't want to spend 150 hours traversing this big, huge map.
I'm the same way these days.
For no reason.
Yeah. That's probably the other reason why, like, for me, it's been hard for me to get into some of these JRPGs and stuff, because I know it's going to be a time investment. Like Clair Obscur, great game, like easily one of the best of the year, and I haven't even finished it yet. But it is that like hump of, man, this is a like 80-hour game.
A lot.
If you want to do everything. And that can be daunting at times.
Yeah.
And yet that's one of my favorite genres, and I keep buying those fucking games. So like Dragon Quest, like I have so many of these JRPGs sitting here, and I'm like, man, I really need to get through some of these games that are JRPGs. But for Sony first party, I just feel like you got God of War, you have Horizon, you have why do I always forget the name of the zombie one that I played? Days Gone. You had Days Gone. You have Ghosts of Tsushima. Now you have Ghosts of Yotai. All of these games have the same basic core aspect. It's an open world. You're going from point A to point B. You can explore the world. There's a bunch of different things that you can collect. It's the same thing. And I think that also has attributed to lower sales than expected for this game. Again, 3.3 million copies of any game is nothing to shy away from.
Not at all.
And not say that it's not a success, but it's not as successful as its previous game. I just wish Sony, like, go back to even the PS4 era. They took a lot more risks in that era. And now I just feel like it's like, well, we have this one type. Keep putting these out.
But it's so bad because, like you said, it's just daunting.
Spider-Man's the same kind of thing. And like, I thought that Wolverine trailer was cool, and I'll play that game. I really hope it's not just Spider-Man with Wolverine.
But it feels like Spider-Man with Wolverine. It kind of
feels like that's what it's going to be, except
and that's why I'm kind of like the same way. I'm like, like, I get it, you know. Spider-Man is essentially the same thing as Batman, which is essentially the same thing. And I understand where the gameplay is, but it's still like one of those things where it just doesn't. It doesn't feel like it's different enough to make me want to like. And
I think that you brought up a good point there too. If you think about Batman and you think about the Arkham series, like Arkham Asylum is a great game because it's not an open world game. It's a Metroidvania game. It's basically Metroid Prime. And then you got to Arkham City and you get to Arkham, especially Arkham Knight, because Arkham City was more open world. And I love Arkham City. I think it's a great game. But when you get to Arkham Knight, it's like it's more of Arkham City, but also here's the Batmobile. Yeah. And it's a great looking designed Batmobile that drives like trash. Because their whole thing, did you play any of the Arkham games?
No.
Okay. The whole problem with the way that the car, the Batmobile works in that game is they couldn't get around the idea or the concept of how do we make this car work except turning around corners. So their solution was to turn it into a tank that just kind of floats. You can go into a mode that it's not great. They also, like, again, I'm not saying Arkham I keep wanting to say Arkham City. Arkham Knight is not a good Batman. It's a good Batman game. I really enjoyed it at this time. But that being said, there are some major flaws. The other thing is they designed some battles and some boss battles with that vehicle, and it's not great. So, but again, I'm proving the point of like that franchise didn't need to go open world.
No,
it could have stayed the same way Arkham Asylum was, and I think it would have been better for it.
It's just sometimes you just gotta think about what you're making and how you can not make it so overwhelming that people don't want to play it. You know what I mean? It's
Spider-Man. Like, I will go back. I mean, if I look at both of those games, I love the original one. The game was awesome. Yeah. And Spider-Man 2 is a good game. But it comes out in that same era here of like, it's still another one of these Sony first party open world, do all this shit. And I'm kind of tired of that.
Absolutely tired of
We're
that.
just like, give me a good 2D, something that's short and sweet. And I'm good with that. Not everything needs to be 150 hours.
Please, dear God, please.
But that's going to wrap up the emails we have. As always, send your emails to podcast572@gmail.com. We will be back in December. We will have another mini episode that will be going up Black Friday, because that would be the next day we technically record, but we're not going to be recording that day.
Yeah.
So we'll be back mid-December for our end of the year podcast. We'll do whatever we pick for our game of the year stuff. We'll be able to talk about what happened at the Game Awards. But yeah, otherwise, I guess keep it real. Thank you for listening or watching.
Stay safe.